Hi there, this is Kellen. You know, I get a funny question a lot, and I used to just ignore it, but I think it's worth some serious consideration. And the question is this: I get asked, is there anything you don't do? And I used to think take it always as just a joke and brush it off. And I started thinking why people might ask that question. And I looked at my life and I think, I have done a lot of things. And I started to think back about the kind of the journey and the passage through my life and how that happened. And then I started getting the feeling from people that they thought that somehow I had had a charmed or magic life and been able to do all the stuff that I do because of, particular and blessed circumstances. And so I thought I'd talk about that a little bit. I was raised in a very, very strict religious and perfectionist setting where the only answer was perfection all the time. There was no other standard. If I didn't bring home straight A's, I got in trouble, those kinds of things. There was also quite a bit of physical abuse, physical punishment, stuff that today would land people in jail for long periods of time. I remember hiding in the locker room in high school, not wanting to change because I was black and blue on the back and the lower back and so forth. And so I had a lot of that. And consequently, what that left me with is this huge feeling of inferiority, that I was somehow never good enough and never would be good enough. And I spent a lot of my early adult life overachieving, trying to prove something, and ultimately to get, signs of approval from those who, of course, never would give it. And even to this day, I've never had any kind of acknowledgement of that from my mom, who was the primary perpetrator of the violence. And my father has passed on. And so, and I don't expect that I'll ever get that kind of thing. But here's the thing. As a result of that, I have had massive achievements. I've been a C-level executive in corporations, in the C-suite in 2 countries. I've had financial and commercial success as a recording artist. I've owned a recording studio that is successful. I have a record label. I have done paintings that are in galleries around the world. I had the opportunity to speak in multiple places around the world, but regardless of all that success, it was always in the context of I'm not good enough. If I could just something more. On top of that, I've had this self-sabotage gene kind of flowing through it all, right? So I've had some spectacular crashes, massive relationship failures, multiple marriage failures, kids that still won't talk to me now, pain that goes through, partly of my own making, partly incited by others, but it doesn't really matter. I own the responsibility of all my choices, good and bad. And so now, at this time in my life, I have spectacular success. I have my own business, consulting, coaching people, helping them do breakthrough work, but it has come at the expense and through the trail of blood and tears that I see so many of my clients and prospects walking now. And I want to give you full encouragement. You have a song to sing. You have important contributions to make. You have something that no one else can do. You must provide that. You must take the courage, find the guts to pursue it and blossom freely and fully. Sing the song you came to sing. In my language and the language of the coaching that I do, it's break the cage now.